everyone, it's Katerina Garavito, and I'm here at the Connected Claims Conference in Chicago, and I'm here with Bryan Falchuk from High Barley. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
So, Bryan, we first met when you were running claims at Hiscox, and now that you're at High Barley, can you explain to me a little bit what your role is like here?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was a customer of High Barley's when I was in claims at Hiscox, and I got to see firsthand what the solution was like and the impact it had. And so when I decided to leave Hiscox, it was kind of a natural fit to come to High Barley, and I'm the head of customer, whatever that means. It kind of makes sense. I used to be a customer, so I'm responsible for all of our customer-facing efforts, helping carriers get up and running and get the most out of the system and be successful.
So the culture at High Barley is a little bit more upbeat and tech savvy. So with that being incorporated into the insurance space, do you think that that will attract more young professionals into the industry?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting time with InsurTech, where I was lucky. I got to work at a carrier that was very forward-thinking and open, but that's not the perception of insurance as a whole. But InsurTech is just totally blossoming, and I think that gives people this sense that insurance is a great space to move into. Maybe it's the tech side of it, but events like this, there's so much activity and so many different kinds of ways to get involved in the insurance space as a whole, beyond what people might have in their mind as a traditional path.
How old were you when you started in the insurance industry?
I started fresh out of college when I was 21.
Oh, wow.
20 or 21, I don't remember.
Baby.
I think 21. Yeah, I was young, and it wasn't intentional. Like a lot of people, I got into it by accident, right? So there was I wanted to do consulting work, and Liberty Mutual is this really cool internal consulting team. And so yeah, I wanted to do the consulting work, and it just happened to be in insurance. And what I found out really quickly is, actually, put the jokes aside, it's kind of interesting. And as someone who likes to solve problems and likes to have an impact, there's a lot of space to do that in insurance. This is back in 2000, and then the Twin Towers fell, and Enron collapsed, and Oracle. There was a lot going on that hit the world, and also took down a number of insurers really profoundly, and the dot-com bubble burst. There's so many just systemic things happening that meant there's a lot of places that they just need help. And so I got to do, honestly, some really cool work really early on, and I got some really senior exposure because of that I probably wouldn't have had in any other line of work. And I feel like someone asked me the other day, did you go to your first choice of business school? And when I was first applying, no, it wasn't, but after I got into the process, that's definitely where I wanted to go. But I wouldn't unwish I wouldn't wish a different, wish a different thing on my path, because if you change any of it, then it wouldn't be where I'm at.
Right.
And there's so many things I'm so thankful for that, whether it was what you wanted at the time or not, if you're good with where you're at today, you have to appreciate that. And I feel really lucky that I've had those opportunities, that every single domino that's fallen along the path, if I didn't appreciate it at the time, I can certainly look back and say, even if it was tough, I'm really glad that happened, because otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Right.
And so I've just tried to have that gratitude and take that in, and that served me really well.
So most of our viewers are young professionals or young people that are in college still looking to advance in their career. What advice would you give them if they're looking to become a leader at some point?
So the advice I give pretty much everyone, that I'm not sure everyone's ready to hear it or ready to do it, but it comes down to introspection. So why are you looking at what you're looking at? Why are you studying what you're studying? Why are you interested in what you believe to be interested in? You have to understand the reasons behind things to be able to pick the right path. It can't be about money or the title or whatever. Believe it or not, you can do work you actually enjoy, but it takes understanding why you're doing it and why you might be able to say, yeah, I enjoy that, or not. And if you can pick out those drivers within you underneath the decisions you make, you can make the right decisions that then will add up into the right path. Because if you're forcing it down something else that doesn't really resonate with who you genuinely are, you're probably not going to be very successful, or at least not for long. And I've found that times when I've been disconnected with what really matters to me, I've made the wrong decisions. And yeah, I've grown from them, and things have worked out fine in the end. But I've had a few decision points where, for various reasons, I'm like, oh, I chose this path, which made sense at the time, but it didn't feel right, and I didn't listen enough to that. And luckily I could recover, but wouldn't it have been good if I'd spent a little bit more time reflecting on myself to understand, wait, if you're feeling uncomfortable, why is that? And should you listen, or is it maybe it's irrational? But you gotta explore it to know that.
Right. So is there anything else that you would want to give advice to our viewers that you wish you had when you were in college or just starting out?
Yeah, that's a really tough question. It is kind of silly sounding to a lot of people. It's like, just be true to yourself, because ultimately that's what you got. So people who are like, well, if I choose this, they're going to feel a certain way about it, or how are my parents going to think about it, or if I say no, that person's going to be upset. But at the end of the day, if you're upset with it, that's actually all that matters. So just, listen to yourself and be mindful of other people for sure, but you're the one living that life in the end. So make sure that whether you say yes or no to something is because you need to say yes or no to it.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on.
It was a pleasure speaking with you today, and we look forward to enjoying this conference together.
Cool. Thank you.